Today we'll look at the new object and subject selection tools in Affinity Photo. These new features are based on machine learning and were released in Affinity Photo version 2.6. Now there are some technical requirements for these features. I'm on the Affinity website here, and you can see the requirements for Mac and iPad. For the Mac you need Ventura 13 or later, and iPad OS needs to be version 17 or later. For Windows the requirements are a little more flexible, x64 or ARM64, with Windows version 10 or 11. Once you've updated Affinity Photo, you'll need to download the machine learning models. You can do this through the Settings menu. On Windows, it's Edit, Settings. Then there's this Machine Learning tab here. You'll have the option to download and install these segmentation and saliency models. Segmentation is for object selection, and saliency is for select subject. Let's look at object selection. First, you'll want to make sure you have the right layer selected. So I have it selected here. There's only one layer in this document. And now I'll click on this button that looks like an owl icon over here, Object Selection Tool. So I'll click this. The computer will process for a bit. And now I can hover over different parts of my object. So you can see it's finding part of the dessert there. It's finding all these puffs in the middle. It's finding individual raspberries and strawberries. If I click on one of these objects, it makes a selection. And from here you can do any of the normal selection operations in Affinity Photo. Let me undo that. To have it find something, you want to hover over it for a second and just let the cursor sit until it outlines it. Now by default, the operation for this tool is adding selections together. So if I click this strawberry, the selection is there. I can hover over this raspberry, click that, and it will be added to the selection. The reason this happens is because add is selected up here. We can also subtract. So if I choose this option, subtract, I can unselect this one. I can unselect that one. You also have the new option. This will reset your selection. So I'll click this. Now I'll select the raspberry. Now it goes back to the add mode. So now I'm starting to add things again. And there's also this intersect option, which I guess will find the common area between two selections. But I haven't found a chance to use that yet. Now one of the coolest things about this tool is the way that it can figure out disjoint objects are the same subject. For example, the plate is separated by the food here, but if I hover over a part of the plate, it finds all of it. I can click, and my plate is selected. You can also click and drag over an area to have it look more closely to find an object. For example, this dessert on the left, it's not seeing that it's connected to the bottom, but if I click and drag this way, and then let go, it gives it a better hint and it makes the connection. So this is a really easy way to mask out things quickly. I can drag over this middle part. It's a selection. Then click the mask button here, and you've masked it out. Now by the way, one other quick feature I'll mention in Affinity 2.6. If you right click on a mask, we have some additional options down at the bottom, including invert mask. So I'll click this, and my mask is inverted. So that's a nice little addition that I think will be quite handy. You can also right click, clear the mask, or right click, and just fill the mask. Another nice feature of the Object Select tool is the ability to sub-select. I have this image of a very fit guy here. If I hover over him, it selects his whole body. But if I move the cursor over his leg and I press Alt, it'll just select his skin. I can then press Shift and it'll just select that part. So I'll let go of Shift, I'll let go of Alt. So you can sub-select into things. Remember that when you're using a tool, these shortcuts are shown at the bottom of the screen there. So here we can say it says Alt to select components. So I'll press Alt. And that's telling me I can press Shift Alt for parts. So I'll do that. And it's working. And we have our result. Now sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. For example, if I go to his arm, if I press Alt, it does select his skin, but if I press Shift, it doesn't actually sub-select it. So your results may vary based on the subject. But these are all based on models and I'm sure they'll be updated over time. Now like I said earlier, once you make a selection, it can act like a normal selection in Affinity. This means you have access to the Refine tool. So let me select this dog here. I'll click and drag over it. Then I'll let go. Now we have the Refine option up here. So I'll click this. And it works just like this tool normally does. I have a longer video on how to use the Refine feature. I'll put a link down in the description below. But the quick way to use it is to have it set to matte. And then you can paint over the edges to have it refine those fine areas. So I'll let go. And it's just going to look closer at those edges. So let's go and clean this. Let's go down here. You can just trace your object. That's the usual workflow. And once you're done, you can change the output. Now first, I'm going to do something I don't recommend. I'm going to output it to a mask. So let's select this here, then go to Mask, and I'll click Apply. This is nice because it's non-destructive, but if we zoom into our dog, you can see it still has this colored pink edge here. That's the background bleeding into our subject. There's actually a way we can get rid of this. Let me copy this layer of the dog, and let's do that selection again. I'll call this dog with mask. Let's hide it. I'll just make that selection quickly again. I'll go to refine. I'll just quickly clean up the edge. Now for my output, I'm going to change it. And I'm going to select new layer with mask. Now this sounds very similar to what I just did, which created a mask. But when you do new layer with mask, it does something called color decontamination. So what Affinity is going to try to do is take the background color out of our edge here. So let's click apply. And you can see the result here. There's much less pink on the edge there. Here we have a side-by-side comparison. On the right is our original one that just added the mask, and you can see the pink on the edge. On the left is our color decontaminated version. You can see it's much whiter on the edge of the fur there. We can clean it up even further. Now the reason that happened is if I expand this, if I disable the mask, you can see it painted in more white there. And when we add the mask back in, it gives the edge a better effect. Now if you wanted, you could further color decontaminate this object. Now there's still some pink in the middle there. You could clean that up easily enough. I'll add a pixel layer. Now I'll drag the pixel layer into the dog layer here. And I'll get a paintbrush. Now if I choose something like red here, now if I paint into the dog here, this effect happens. We're clipped into the dog layer there. Now what I can do is I can change this layer to color. So let's go to the drop down. I'll say color. And you can see the color of this layer is affecting the dog layer there. Now of course we don't want our dog to be pink. Let me delete that. But we can color pick the white in the fur. So I'll just alt click somewhere here. Now I have this white selected. And I can paint out the pink where I don't like it. So we can further improve it. So here we have our new dog. Before, after. Before, after. Finally, we have the Select Subject tool. Pretty much everything we looked at object selection is going to be the same with Select Subject. The main difference is with just one click, we can select the subject of our image. So I'll choose Select, Select Subject. And again, make sure you have the right layer selected. And our subject is selected here. And from here, you can access the Refine tool, either through the Object Selection tool, that'll make Refine appear, or the Selection Brush tool, that'll make Refine also appear. And you can go through with all the normal selection options. One of the main benefits of this tool is that because it's a menu option, you can script it much easier. So if you have an automated process, this is a tool you can use quite conveniently. Have you tried these new tools in Affinity 2.6? How are they working out for you? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.